All right. So I'm like all excited about all the stuff. And then I remember that my quote is this. So the quote of the day is slowing down reminds you that the journey is supposed to be fun. And that's from Bancroft. And the reason I'm giggling like a fool is because I was just getting all worked up about, and then I get to do this, and then I get to do that, and then I get to do this. And it's like, oh yeah, your quote is about slowing down. But slowing down doesn't necessarily not being excited, right? Because slowing down could mean like stop running through the mental checklist. It could be stop worrying about what's still to be done. It could be about actually taking a break, actually taking a nap, making sure that you rest. Resting doesn't have to be not exciting. It just, and you don't have to like not have energy. Oh, sorry, my nose is itchy because of course it is. But it was just kind of funny that I was starting to get a little hyped. And then I was like, the first word out of your mouth for this quote is going to be slowing down. Like, first words, I guess, is going to be slowing down. But, yeah, these last few weeks, few months have felt very much like whack-a-mole. Like, things have been trying to overwhelm me. Like, just there's this thing to do and this thing to do and this thing to do and this thing to do. And as I was checking things off, I was still having more things that were building up. I think most of those things are resolved now. It's not that there aren't things still to be done. There are things that need to be done that can't be done soon because they're expensive. But that's a whole nother can of worms. But I got, I think the most important things are done. I think I'm pretty much ready for my trip, my work trip in 2 weeks. Well, a week and a half now. But I still have a lot of stuff I've got to do before, like for streaming and content stuff before I go. I've got to make sure that I know exactly what I need to do to fly because flying is very different than the last time I flew. And that was over 20 years ago. So I've got all that stuff to take care of this week. And then we're still today we have to go get fireworks. We were gonna go get fireworks yesterday and then realized that the place that we always go did not start selling them until today. So we'd been talking about, and I don't know if you've been with me before or if you remember that our oven has not been working since, I don't know, last April, May, sometime in there. So it's been over a year since we've had a working oven in the house. Now we have a working stovetop, we have a microwave, we have an air fryer that's also a pressure cooker. We have a crock pot, ways of cooking that don't require an oven, but there's a lot of like frozen pizzas. Like I got 2 kids, and pizzas are a nice, easy meal to have regularly. That's not terribly expensive, that will please pretty much everyone in the house. My husband misses making lasagnas. We used to be big into brownies, and then we didn't get to make holiday cookies. We didn't get to make those this year, which sucks because I make a mean snickerdoodle, and my kids are obsessed with them. And that was like the first thing out of my kid's mouth was, no snickerdoodle. So we'd been talking about, okay, when are we actually going to pull the trigger on replacing the oven? And actually it had been intermittent for, I don't know, at least 6 to 8 months before then. Like the electronics essentially were going out on it because we have a gas stove and there's still electronics in gas stoves. And so, it had, it was older, but we had gotten tips to, unplug and let it sit and then replug, and that could help reset the electronics. But eventually the electronics were bound to go bad because it was just old enough for it to. The service people that we talked to were just like, yeah, we could come out and we could charge you money, but if your oven is past this age, it's probably dying. Like that's probably what's going to happen, and all we're going to do is essentially what we can tell you to do. They might have been able to replace parts, but it probably wouldn't have been really worth it. I don't know. That was a conversation that was like, I don't know, at least a year and a half ago. So I don't remember all the details. Anyway, so yesterday we went out and actually got the oven that we have been coveting for at least 9 months, if not a year. So we confirmed all the details for it and then all of that. So we should be getting a new oven, which we had been kind of waiting to try and figure out exactly when we want it. Anyway, that's a whole nother can of worms. We don't need to talk about it because we've already done it. It's coming on Tuesday, apparently. So I got some cleaning to do because I want to make sure that the floor and everything is clean and ready so that it doesn't get installed in anything, you know, left over from the old one. But yeah, so. And then we ended up getting dinner out last night because we thought about doing like something small this weekend and something small next weekend. And the something small next weekend kind of fell apart. So it was like, well, we'll do something out. And we actually also went out Friday to a free festival. So there was, you know, food trucks and music and bubbles and sprinklers and all this kind of stuff. We went early enough that we didn't actually stick around for the fireworks that were also happening that night. Because it was hot. It was but my oldest was bummed out, and I'm like, well, it's fine. We'll be doing fireworks next weekend. And he's like, well, why would we be doing that? And I'm like, because that's the 4th of July. And he went, oh, like it didn't really dawn on him that just because we missed the fireworks didn't mean we weren't going to get fireworks really soon. So today is the day. This afternoon after stream, we will go. And then we have leftovers from our dinner last night, and they are delicious, and I have to keep my hands off of them if I want to actually eat them as a filling dinner. So, anyway, so it's been kind of go for a while, and these streams allow me some time to just chill. So, I can still be excited, but I can also slow down and just game for a few hours. So hopefully you are allowed to take some breaks, and it doesn't have to be large chunks. Take some small moments and just slow down. Look at a tree, look at a cloud, take a breath of fresh air, you know, walk around outside for 5 minutes, you know, just give yourself some time to slow down from the ongoing mental checklist, the brain circus that never shuts up, if you have that problem, and just remember that things can be simple, can be fun, can be relaxing, because they can be. And the more you give yourself that time to actually like disconnect from the stress, at least for a little bit, the better I think things are overall. Thanks for dropping in. If you want to hang out, I stream live on Twitch and YouTube Thursday evenings and middays on Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day, night, time, wherever you are, whenever you are. I'll see you next time.